Hi everyone, welcome to Covered Creations. My name's Gareth. This is my little corner of the internet for playing a bit with my food. I just wanted to bring you today something really simple and quick that has become a staple of our diet in the last 3 months since this whole COVID thing started. It all stems from going down the supermarket right at the beginning before lockdown, and everyone has raided it. There's nothing left. So there was no pasta, there was no rice, everything gone. So walked down the aisles and all I could find was the kind of random stuff that no one knew what to do with. You have bulgur wheat, which I've used before, and I love it. Yeah, I think it works really well. It's like a slightly tougher couscous, which is good in some ways because sometimes couscous can be a bit squishy. And then some little things like preserved lemons, which I found down there, which were fantastic. Olives, bit of cinnamon. Bring it all together, you've got such a great flavourful side dish. And we've had it with meat, like lamb, we've had it with kebabs as a side, we've had it with fish. It's just fantastic. So here we go. Here is my Bulgur Wheat Salad. I'm going to start off really quick. Nice and simple. Want for 2 people, 70 grams of bulgur wheat in a saucepan. So that'll do. All we're going to do then, fill it with water, and then we're going to bring that to a boil and simmer it really gently for about 15 minutes. Okay, so here we are on the hob, got about half an inch of water over the top of the bulgur wheat, just to add a little bit of salt. Lid on, fire it up. We'll bring that up to the boil, then once it's going, we'll just sit there, simmer very gently. Lid on if you can. If you can't, you just might have to top up the water a bit as it evaporates. And then, yeah, about 15 minutes later, we'll come back and everything's done. In the meantime, what we're going to do is just chop up some ingredients that we'll mix in with the bulgur wheat once it's finished. Okay, so our bulgur wheat has now been simmering for about 10 minutes. 5 minutes to go, just going to start prepping some of the other ingredients. Got to keep my eye on it. It's had a few little bubbling over the top incidences. So if you see anything going on behind me, please shout. Now, I've got about a handful of parsley here that we're just going to chop quite roughly. We don't want it too small. There's a bit of stalk in there as well, but I'm not worried about that. The stalk has plenty of flavour. Don't want the really thick woody bits down the end, but if all you're doing is chopping the tops off each, that will be fine. There we go. Chopped parsley. Then what we've got here, these preserved lemons. These are so strong. I've not really used them that much until I started doing this dish. They were in the shop. I thought I knew the flavour would go well, so I went for it. So if you can't get these, essentially 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and the grated rind will be perfectly fine. Just grate the skin off and put it in. Probably want maybe a tablespoon of that. So what we're going to do with these is we're only going to use a half, because like I say, they are insanely full of flavour. And then we're just going to chop that as small as we can to nice little cubes. It also has the craziest pips in it, which, because it's been preserved, is so hard to get out until you've actually chopped them. Just got to make sure we don't get left with any kind of little slivers. There we go. They're all clean. So yeah, we'll just chop those up really fine. The great thing about this is it doesn't matter if it all mixes on the board. There's no orders of putting anything in. It's just a case of whack all the ingredients together. When the bulgur wheat's done, put it all in, job done. So now I'm going to put in about 12 olives. Okay, so we've got 12 olives there. We're just going to quarter them because we want some reasonable chunks of olive compared with the things like the lemon. That's my olives done. Now then all we're going to put in after that is a small handful of peanuts. I just like that little bit of extra crunch in there. There we go, small handful, probably looking about the same amount as the olives. And we'll just leave them there. Right, that's all of our ingredients all cut up. The bulgur wheat should be ready in a minute or two, and we can just put it all together. See you in a sec. Okay, so our bulgur wheat's all done. All I've done is drained off all of the excess water, shoved it back in the pan. You see it's massively bigger than it was when you put it in. And then all we're going to do now is add those ingredients we chopped. So our parsley, our preserved lemon, olives and peanuts. Give that a mix around. To this I'm going to add half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Shake that in there. And then we want to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Now for this the extra virgin olive oil would be best because you're eating it neat, you're not cooking it off. But one trick I have found, which I've loved, is this, which is a jar of sun-dried tomatoes without any tomatoes left in it. So that's just a really good olive oil that's had sun-dried tomatoes in it for months. Fantastic flavour, and for a dish like this, it's great. So all I'm going to do is spoon out 2, a little bit more, tablespoons of that oil and give it a good mix around. And there we are. Let's serve it up so you can see what we have. And what you should get is a lovely glistening top. So that's about a good portion. There you go. Works absolutely fantastic as a side dish. Imagine a nice piece of fish there, or Milan that I'm having later. Beautiful. Thanks very much for watching the video. I hope you really enjoy it. I have an absolute blast doing these. I hope you all have fun. Enjoy playing with your own food, and I'll catch you soon. Cheers.